Hey guys, welcome back to some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. In today's video, we're going to be doing the reroll guide. We're going to go through the reroll process. We're going to go through the heroes to reroll for and how to bind your account if you get one you like or one that you just want to hold on to and maybe use, and also how to delete the account for a quick reroll process. Timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip to a certain bit, but let's get into the video. Just a quick disclaimer at the start, this is still on the JP version, so it's just assuming that the English version will be the same or similar at least. If it does change, I will update the video. I'll be streaming from the launch of the game as well if you want to come hang out, do some rerolls and talk some smack about the game, because it's gonna be a fun launch. I can't wait for this game. So jumping into the first bit of the reroll process, when you first jump in, if you're on Android or something like that, it'll try and log you into play games. You can just click away from it. You don't have to log in to play games. That's the first little bit. And then all you're gonna do is jump into it, hit OK, and then go into it. Now I'm gonna cut through this a fair bit, chop out some of the bits where it's just basically you watching it and skipping cutscenes. But I just want to look quickly at the first cutscene to show you how to skip them. You just click the screen anywhere on anything that looks like a cutscene, and then you just go to the top right, hit skip. It's that simple. You go through that process every time. You come over here, there'll be another cutscene. This isn't really a cutscene, it's just these guys talking. You skip that, and then it's going to go through this battle, which is this is the combat graphics, the combat system with the cards down the bottom, but you don't actually control any of this. So it's just basically you sitting here watching this play through, and then there'll be one other dialogue with the guys at the bar, where you'll have to skip it, and then it'll go through the rest of this. So I'm just going to skip through this, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that battle ended, you finished it, you stomped him in the face, all good. Get over here, we're going to skip some more dialogue, and then it's going to go into this loading screen. Now, this loading screen on JP version, I've done a lot of rerolls, takes a lot of time. Okay, so that screen took forever to load. Here we are, we're back. So we're just going to go in here. This is the first of 2 guided battles that you have to do. You can't avoid these first 2 battles. There's just one thing I quickly wanted to touch on in here. This is a cutscene again. You click skip. You click skip. Struggling to speak. Okay. So we get into here. It loads. There's just one thing with the text, because basically Hawk is going to talk you through the whole thing. But this is where he comes up. You can click anywhere to speed through the text, but just be careful, because if you start clicking everywhere and you're like, why can't I advance through this text? It means you must have clicked that auto button. And when you click that auto button, it doesn't matter where you click, it's not going to affect it. But if you don't have that clicked, you can click and speed it through really fast. So that's just, maybe 1 or 2 people will get caught out on that. I did one reroll and I was like, what is going on here? But then it's just going to go through this. It's going to be, it's completely on rails. It tells you everything to do, everything to select. It takes you through the basics. It's going to be this battle, and then we'll come back at the start of the next battle, because this one, you can't stuff up. It shows you where to click everything. Okay, so we finished that battle. It goes to another cutscene, which we're going to skip, and then it's going to lead us into the next battle, which is once again on rails, shows you everything to do. This next battle, there's one ability that you get to select yourself, but you can't stuff it up, so don't stress. So we're going to jump into it. Once again, you're just going to take that exact same team, go in, skip one more cutscene, and then it's going to be the exact same thing on rails. It tells you exactly what to click, where to go, all that stuff. So it's very much on rails, so I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole animation of this battle, but we'll go through the first ability just to show you. It is just completely standard like the last one. Hawk talks, you skip it, it tells you what to click, and then you keep going, and then you'll beat him, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we just finished that battle. Really easy. Once again, really easy. You cannot mess up through that. You can go through this, collect your rewards. Happy days. That's a quest completion. Hit OK. Now it's going to take us through a little bit of animation, another cutscene that we can skip. And then now is when we're going to make our way to the boar hat, and then we're going to change Elizabeth's outfit, and then we're going to get into the first temple. So this is like the initial stage of the reroll process. So you can go like that, collect OK, and then it's going to load a little bit, and now it's going to tell us to go to the boar hat. Okay, hit the bottom left there, you jump over here. Like I said, the first thing we're going to do is change Elizabeth's outfit. And this whole reroll process is probably about 6 to 8 minutes, depending on how quick you can click and stuff like that. So it's not too bad, but it's not the best I've seen in games. But here we go. There we go. They talk a bit, and then we get to do our first 10 pull. Sweet. All right. Takes us to summons. Let's go Hawk. Now we go down here. And this is the banner you have to summon on. There's no way of going around this. Now, I've done about 40 or 50 rerolls on the JP version, and every one has been a guaranteed copy of one of these 5 heroes. You've got the Meliodas, the Diane, the Gotha, the King, and the Bon. You're guaranteed to get one of those ones, and it's only this specific copy from this banner. That's the way it is on JP. I've never seen a second SSR pulled in this first 10 pull. And I've never seen no SSRs, and I've never seen it be a different SSR than one of these exact heroes. So those are the ones you're going to be able to get from it. So that's the way it is. Hopefully it's the same on global, or if you want to get something different, hopefully it's not. But trust me, for the heroes you want to reroll for, it's a good thing that there's a guaranteed 1 in 5 chance of getting one of these ones. So we're going to go into the summon. If you haven't watched the summon animation yet, let it play through because it's really wicked. But we're just going to skip it to see what we get. And there you go. That is pretty much how it works. You get all Rs and SRs, and then you get one SSR, which is guaranteed to be one of those 5 heroes. So we're going to cut that. So that's the first 10 pull you can get to. Now, if you're really unhappy with who you got, you can come back. You can just reset now, but I wouldn't, because it takes literally another minute or so to get to the next one. And the other thing is, you can, once again, this is on JP, hopefully it's the same on English. There's no limit to how many players can have the same name. So I've got a lot of characters on this JP server with Vulcan for the name, and I've never had, there's no clashing issues. So it should be fine. Just go with your name. You don't have to put 1, 2, 3 after it or anything like that, which can get annoying. So after that first 10 pull, we're going to go here. We're going to get this stuff, and I'm not sure how many different rewards they're going to give us at global. Hopefully they give us, a bunch of stuff to do a few more 10 pulls. It'd be nice, but we'll see how we go. So this is just, the start of the game. They like to give you goodies and all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure we're going to get all this stuff at the launch as well, so that's not too bad. Okie doke, we'll take that and go over here. And then it's going to take you into the next battle. Now this is the battle that you can actually skip, and it takes you off the rails for the guided tour. So it's going to go down. We're going to go into this. It's going to show you how to select your team. So we're going to go there. It doesn't matter who you select here, because it's just going to change it for you anyway. So you can select anyone. Then we go back. Then you do the auto place button. So that's the button to auto place your highest power team. Cool. Does that. And now it's going to talk about your substitute. And then it's going to talk about your recruitment. And now we're going to be able to get into the battle. It does get a bit tedious watching Hawk do his little text, but you get there eventually. And then we're going to go start. So as soon as you get into this battle, you can hit the little pause button in the top right and exit out of it. And then you're off the rails. So that's exactly what you want to do. Hit the pause button, hit the exit. Okay. Now we're done. And now from there, you can jump back into the summons and do whatever you have got. Whatever they give us at global, you can summon whatever you want. So if we go over here, now you hit the summon button, and now we can go over here. So if there's any banners at global, you can summon on the banners. You can summon in anything you want. So I'm just going to, for instance, go to the original banner, because who knows if they'll have a launch banner at global. We'll have to wait and see. But let's just do the 30 pull here, the 30 diamonds here, and see what happens. And this is basically where you're going to do all your summons and then decide if you want the account or not. And there you go. We did get a second SSR, which is not too bad. Got the red Liz Hawk, which is actually a good hero as well as an SR. Was that Liz or Liz Hawk? I didn't see. Anyway, then you can also go through, and if you've got, it gives you an SSR ticket, so we can go ahead and pop that as well. Like I said, any summons that you do have, you can go ahead and pop them and try and make the best one that you have. This game is really generous in that it does give you SSR tickets and stuff like that as login bonuses and all that. So it's a really good free-to-play game, but that is pretty much going to be where your reroll ends, and then you're going to decide whether you want it or not. And now we'll go into, what we'll do is we'll talk about the heroes you want to reroll for, and then we'll go into binding or deleting your account. Like I said, timestamps in the description if you want to check out and skip to the binding part. So heroes that we want to reroll for. Basically, this account got lucky. It got the one that we really want to reroll for. This green Meliodas is absolutely amazing for campaign. He is absolutely fantastic. Basically, he has a counter ability that does more damage when he's lower in health, and when we say it does more damage, it scales ridiculously. Also, he has the passive that's going to increase his the that's going to increase his crit rate when he's lower health. So basically, if you let this guy get low, you stack up the cards, he just does a hell of a lot of damage with it, and you can really cheese boss mechanics and just destroy bosses with him. He's definitely the best one to go for the reroll, in my opinion. Because I've played through 4 accounts using different heroes as the initial pool, and he honestly takes days off your progression time. He just makes it so easy. It really does depend, and this is another point about this reroll. It's a 1 in 5 chance. I just go for him and get him. If you don't get him, it's not the end of the world. It depends what they're going to do on global, whether they take it to chapter 5 or chapter 6. Chapter 6 is where he really shines, and all the Hendrickson fights, it's really hard without him. Unless you like grind for longer and get gear. However, if at launch they only go to chapter 5, chapter 5 is fairly easy to clear no matter who you get. So if that's the case, then it doesn't matter as much, because if you go to chapter 5, then you can clear it with just about anyone, and then you're going to go into the gear grind phase. And then by the time they open chapter 6, you should be geared enough to be able to do it. But once again, Meliodas, definitely the one to go for. Now, another thing a lot of people have been speculating about is whether there's banners at global. So there's going to be one hero that we're going to look at for if there is banners, and that is going to be the green Escanor. He just hits like an absolute truck. Like, he's just single target, absolute beast. His first attack, when it gets skilled up, when it gets leveled up, it's going to give him increase his ult gauge. His second skill is going to give a stacking debuff, which increases damage the target takes. His ultimate doesn't have any secondary effects. It just deals huge amounts of damage. And then he's got a passive, which when he's at maximum ult gauge, he's going to cleanse and be immune to any buffs and debuffs. So it just means he's going to get his attack off. But he's absolute beast. He's got really high, I think they call it pierce rate now. Was penetration, now called pierce rate. But anyway, he can deal massive amounts of single target damage. Just a really, really good nuker for the entire game. He's probably not as good as the Meliodas for campaign, but he's still really strong for campaign, and he just outshines the Meliodas in pretty much every other aspect of the game. So he's the one I'd reroll for if you were going from the other if there's a banner or something. But keeping in mind, if you go for him, it's going to be from a banner. And if we look at rates on banners, this is a generous banner where it's 0.5%. If we go over to another banner, like where's the one with Escanor? Like this one here. If we go here and we look at the actual banner heroes, you can see they're 0.35% chance to get. So it's it's low chances. So you're not going to be getting them from that first pull. You're going to be just doing the RNG from whatever diamonds and stuff we get at launch. So it will take longer. It's going to be painful. But just the idea of just re-rolling for that green Meliodas, and keeping in mind Escanor might not be in the game, but just re-rolling for that green Meliodas at a 1 in 5 chance, it's completely worth it. Like I there's no real point in skipping it. It's not going to take you that long, like an hour, maybe 2 tops to get it, and it's going to save a lot of progress time. So I'd definitely go for that Meliodas, and then and like I said, if it's a different banner, it may be worth it. But the reason we're not looking, there's other really good heroes in the game, but the reason we're not looking at them is because a lot of them are in the coin shop. Like Gotha here, if this red Gotha's in the game, which I'm not sure if he will be at launch, but he's like one of the best characters in the game, but you can get him from the coin shop. So it doesn't really matter too much. You got other things like the red Escanor, who's really good. He's in the coin shop. The blue king, you get him from campaign. The green Bond's actually pretty good too. You get him, the green Merlin, like all these good heroes you can get from the shop. You got Hauser, who's an AoE beast. You got Helbram as well. Like there's a lot of good heroes, but you can get them all from the shop. So don't stress about them. That's why the green Escanor is that one that if the banner is on and he's there, you'd want to go for, just because he's not available from the shop. Also, if the shop does change, we can make more videos updating this. But in general, green Escanor or green Melly. Green Melly being so easy to get, just go for him. That's pretty much it. Now onto binding or deleting your account. So if you want to bind your account, you not even bind it. To bind it, you're going to actually go up here and click the ball hat, and you can bind it to Google, email, or Apple, whatever it is. But that's once you've got the account you're 100% sure you want. That's that. But if you want to get a code for the account, so you're going to come here, click this thing, and then down the bottom right here, that's the transfer code. So if you have an account that you're either you're like, man, that's the account I'm using, or B, you like, I may use that account, but I want to see if I can get something better for the next hour. Then you come here, it'll give you a code, which you can click this and copy, and then you can set a password, and the password can be absolutely anything. And then the code and the password, you've just got to remember, email them to yourselves, something like that. And then once you've got that, you can come out and you can delete the account. So once again, once you got that transfer code, you can get it onto it on any device, that account. You can do that, get as many codes as you want with passwords, email them all to yourself, write what's in the account so you know whatever you want to do. But then if you want to delete the data off the game, you just hit this one, which is what we're going to do. We're just going to delete that and then hit OK. And what it's going to do, it's going to take you back to this home screen. And basically then you're going to just roll through the process and go again to basically re-roll it. What it does is it just deletes the save file basically, but it keeps all the data. So you don't have to do a re-download, anything like that. It's going to try and go into the Google Play games again. So we skip that. I just cut it out because avoid seeing all my emails. But then once we're here, you can either just click and go for another reroll. But if you want to jump into one of the accounts that you have the codes for, you click this one in the bottom left. It'll be way more obvious on English because it'll have text there that you can read. And then we're going to click this one, and then that's going to be the code, and then that's going to be the password. And that is it for binding the account, saving it, transferring it, deleting it, all that stuff. So that's the reroll process. Those are the heroes. That's the binding. Hope it made sense. Hope you guys get the rerolls you're looking for. Once again, I will be streaming at launch, so if you want to come hang out and do some rerolls, I will be there on Twitch, links in the description. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.